And let's continue our conversation now with Mike Beam, who is the Kansas Secretary of Agriculture. And Mr. Secretary, of course, this time of the year, the other thing that goes on is a lot of burning, especially in the Flint Hills. We've seen different reports of this isn't going to happen, maybe reduced. What can you tell us when it comes to this annual spring event?
Well, yes, we've been in coordination with the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, and they are the entity that really monitors air quality and has, the burning regulations, which are pretty minimal for agricultural burning. But together we put out a news release recently, and the intent was for the news release was really twofold. One is a consideration for burning less than what you may have planned otherwise. Because, that sometimes this smoke can drift into some areas. And one of the real symptoms or problems that folks have who contract the disease is respiratory issues. And secondly, we don't want to overtax our emergency responders. And the second message is that those in the Flint Hills have a tool at this ksfire.org website where you can look out 48 hours from your specific geographic locations and get a determination what the likelihood or level of smoke drifting into urban centers will be. And so it's a reminder, gosh, if you're in that red area, it's the best thing is to burn that day, because that means that it's likely to cause some problems in population centers.
Before we let you go, a couple of other things. Obviously, we talk a lot about production agriculture, the livestock industry, but KDA also regulates a lot of different things. You have put some things, you and the governor have put some things in place to help licensees of some of the things that you kind of make sure keep commerce moving.
Yes, we do license and regulate fuel. And so what a lot of folks don't understand is that EPA has guidelines that on April 1, all the gas stations, fuel stations are to go to a lower vapor fuel. And because of less demand and use, we still have a lot of the winter blend fuel out in the distribution areas. So we've provided a waiver that folks don't continue to sell and move that winter blend fuel. At least through the end of April. Secondly, we have a food safety and lodging program where our folks inspect all food service entities. And there's probably nobody hit harder by this than food service, including restaurant folks. So we've issued guidance to the food service industry, particularly designed for restaurants who may have a big supply of product on hand. This guidance basically says you can resell that to retail establishments or even individual consumers, and here are the guidelines and safety precautions to do. So it's hopefully a way that will help open up some more food opportunities where with these local grocery stores and supermarkets and individual consumers as well.
All right, Mike. Well, we know you're a busy guy, but we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to kind of give us an update of what's going on, especially dealing with things with the Kansas Department of Agriculture through this coronavirus, COVID-19. So best of luck, and we'll get through this thing together, and stay safe.
Thank you. Stay safe, keep the distance, and keep smiling.
All right, Mike Beam, the Kansas Secretary of Agriculture, has joined us. Stay with us. We have more coming up.